Hi, my name's Leila Kotori, and I'm with Chris Gordon on Hellblazer Biz.
Hey everyone, I have the honour and the company of Leila Kotori today. So hey Leila, hello. Thank you for... I know it sounds weird, also we've just been chatting for like 10 minutes anyway, and then it's like, oh, so for me it feels weird anyway. For obviously someone in your position, you're used to it. But I'm getting used to it now, but it just feels funny. So hello.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for joining me, I really appreciate it. It was
Pleasure.
No, it's great. I mean, I put that thing out on Facebook, and I think I didn't expect it to be such an overwhelming response from people and support. I was like, wow, I really was overwhelmed. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's good. I saw like all the comments. I think I must have commented about like five in. The next thing I know, I went back like an hour later and it was like 50 comments. I was like, wow, you're going to be like booked up for like the whole year.
I know. If I think about it, if I put it in, I could sit back now for the next 4 months, I think. Because doing one show a week, and that's it. The next 2 weeks I'll be doing every night, and then just sit back for 4 months.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Edit them, just like slowly get them out one at a time.
yeah.
Good.
I think I'm gonna have to do two a week though on this one. I've got a feeling just to make sure
Yeah.
because I've got so many, like yourself, so many amazing guests coming on. Yeah, it's like I don't want to keep you, I don't want to hold you back for two. I want to get you guys out. But yes, roundabout way. Thank you. It was great of you to reach out to respond to me reaching out, and it's been good to sort of chat to you in preparation for this. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so there's wasted 5 minutes there just rambling.
Rambling and laughing. It's
Yes,
the best thing.
it is. It is. I actually got told at work the other. I'm not sorry. I got told at work last week that I didn't get a job, a permanent job. I'd gone for.
Yeah.
I was a contractor, and they asked. She goes, the lady who interviewed me. She goes, "You weren't too despondent, were you?" So I said, "I just put on my acting face," and I was like, "I was absolutely devastated, and it was all your fault." And I was really serious.
Oh,
I was so serious. She looked at me. I said, "I'm kidding." She's like, "All right," and I laughed. And
but say you didn't make her cry.
no, no. Then she just looked at me. She laughed, and I said, I can't remember what she said. Oh, they were talking about my age and stuff, and obviously when she found out how old I was, she goes, "I thought you were 10 years younger." And I said, "It must be my smile," and she goes, "Yes, that's the one. That's a really endearing thing about you." She goes, "Everybody says it's your smile around the workplace." I was like, "Oh, that's
Oh,
nice."
that's always
Smiling and
nice.
laughing.
Though.
It's probably because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so I just like, hey, yeah,
It's all fun. If in doubt, just smile.
exactly, yeah. So that's when you see me. If you can see me at a screening or something like Patrick's last year, and I was just smiling, it's because I was really didn't have a clue what I was saying. I was just sitting there and just like, yeah. No, I'm kidding. I do, kind of.
I'll wing it. We all wing it.
Yeah,
We all
excellent.
pretend we know what we're doing, but really we're all winging it.
Yeah, yeah. There's no scripts anywhere.
Yeah.
Tell you something, that'd make a fantastic series if it was all just ad libbed, wouldn't it? Just imagine the kind of stuff that would come out with.
Yeah.
I went to see. Do you know Mischief Theatre? You've seen that, the ones
Yes.
who do the
Yeah.
play that goes wrong and stuff. I went to see them 4 times when I was in London last year because they were doing a I got movie hang on, Mischief movie night where it was all ad lib. It was where the ones where you go in and it's all improv and they ask for a location and a setting and a film genre,
Yeah.
which is why I went 4 times because it was a different show every time I went, and that's just an hour. And that was just how I could envision an hour of pure improv of just ad libbing it all.
Oh, it'd be absolute madness.
It was, yeah. So
If I did that, it'd be absolute madness.
I think one of the girls broke her ankle on the first week or second week. She had to go out
That,
because
that sounds like me. That sounds like me. Yeah.
yeah, clumsy.
Yeah.
Excellent, cool. So we have got some stuff to go through, some
Yeah.
topics to talk about, and try and find out a bit more about yourself, Layla, and what your plans are, where you want to go, and inspirations and stuff like that. And I'll probably just give it. There you go. That's my topics in half a second. Right. So your inspirations then, growing up. Why did you want to become an actress, and kind of who inspired you to do that?
I think performing's like always been in the family. We've either done dancing or singing. And I started off performing actually just doing ballet. And so I loved to dance. It wasn't really until secondary school that I really started getting into acting. But to be honest, probably like the first memories I have of watching films were of like Indiana Jones. I was a massive Indiana Jones fan. Couldn't understand why Indiana Jones couldn't be a girl. Yeah, loved watching all of that, and it's just since then, as soon as I started doing acting in secondary school, I've just absolutely loved it and haven't really looked back ever since. And like people like Angelina Jolie, like I watched her, and she's like my idol. And I just absolutely love acting. I think you speak to any actor, and they're like, "Oh, when did it you first like fall in love with acting?" Like, always just loved acting. Always loved performing. I think there's very few actors that can like really pinpoint down that moment where they're like, "Ah, yes."
Yeah. Cool. No, that's great. I mean, yeah. Sometimes some people have got that creative side. I mean, when I was a long time ago, almost like Harrison for a long time ago. I was when I was in school. I loved acting as well. It was something. Yeah, I took a different path because it was a safety career path. It was where I was steered to. But that's what I was told. So I kind of went a different route. But I was always gutted that I left it because it was the one thing that I absolutely. I'd stay behind till like 5 o'clock sometimes, talking to the drama teacher to try and learn more. And I think I said this the other day on an interview the other day. Jerome K. Jerome's 3 Men in a Boat. If you've ever heard of that one, that old one. There was a theatre company had just literally written a play based on the book. It's never been dramatised before, and they were doing it at a local theatre in North Wales. And I loved the book, and my drama teacher actually knew these people, and he went out and he asked them permission. And so we got, for my GCSE drama, to do 3 Men in a Boat, 4 scenes from 3 Men in a Boat, and we were the first people in the world to perform 3 Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome on stage.
Cool.
There you go. That's my little.
I mean, I was a little bit similar to you because I did drama in school, and then I took the academic route, and I went off and actually did a geography degree at Exeter University. I got a year into that, and I was like, no, I want to do acting. My mum was like, you've worked so hard to get into university. She was like, please just finish your degree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I finished my degree, and then I joined some of the local theatre groups. And so one of the first pieces that I did when I got back into acting was a Hello, and I played Yvette. So yeah, that was the first piece I got back into, and then I went to drama school up in London as well. So
nice.
Yeah, I kind of followed the academic route briefly for a while.
Yeah. No, I did 4 years of a German degree, but while I was there, I did all the amateur. I did the play, the Scottish tragedy. I say we're not in a theatre, so it's Macbeth. So it's fine. And I did that. I think I was about 5 characters in that, and that was it's you gotta love. We had a whole school audience. Sorry, I'm detailing away here again, but we had to play to the school. It's only because it was one of the most embarrassing moments. I was the night watchman in Macbeth. He's he's like a comedic character, sits in a nightshirt, and I was sat on the edge of the stage in a nightshirt. Never worn a nightshirt before in my life, and I never will again, because it was such a traumatic experience. In the fact that there was about 300 to 400 teenage kids from high school sitting there chuckling away because me sat like a guy, man spread with my legs open, just chatting, doing my soliloquy, thinking everyone's laughing because I was funny. Most people were laughing because they could see right up the night and see what was underneath. So I could have been arrested, I guess, for just flashing to a bunch of school kids, really. But I was only about a couple of minutes into it when I realised. I was like, right, okay, let's go cross-legged here and just sit there like that.
Yeah.
And change the stance.
Wow! Yeah.
I did panto as well, which is awesome. And that's got to be. That's a fun. Have you ever done anything like that? Yeah.
I've done one panto. That was many, many years ago, and I have to say, I don't think I can ever do panto again. I think I had a really rotten experience of it though,
Oh
because
no.
I got a migraine on the night,
Mhm.
and so I was having to go out, sing, dance, be really funny,
Yeah.
and all these lights with this massive migraine, and I was supposed to be the hero. I was supposed to be the hero, but the kids ended up booing me because I killed the giant. I was like, no, you're supposed to cheer for me. Oh, I clearly haven't worked this one out properly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a bad experience, really.
Yeah,
To be fair.
I've only ever done one. I
Yeah.
don't think. I think some people like enjoy doing panto, but yeah, just for me, it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I only ever did the one. I was Dame Trot. We had Mother Hubbard, who was the main dame, and then I was meant to be the upper class
yeah,
sister. No, the Dame Trot, and it was fun. It was good. We had one song and they cut it out. Uh, but then literally we had all the little mothers meetings. So we had Dame Trot, Mother Hubbard, Cinderella, Puss in Boots. They're all like little
yeah,
gathering, and then all of a sudden this music came on, and when I'm sitting opposite this other dame, and originally was our cue, but we thought it'd been cut, but they decided just
yeah,
at the last minute to put it in and make it spontaneous, and all of a sudden the music came on. It was like, oh, it was like, sister dear, I think I feel a song coming on. It's like suddenly, and it was like, gimme, gimme, gimme a man after midnight. So it was all like, the full on thrusts. It's just absolutely hilarious. I absolutely loved 3 nights in a row, and it went down a storm. Obviously, full innuendo back in 1995 when we weren't as politically correct and not politically correct. We weren't as strict with how we could behave and with
yeah,
friends in the audience. I'm not saying I was offensive or anything. It was no, because I had friends in
yeah.
the audience, so I'd pick on my friends.
People weren't so easily offended.
That's the one. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
They could actually wake up in the morning and think, it's a wonderful day, rather than I'm offended. It's
yeah,
like, as soon as they open their eyes. Sorry.
yeah.
Soapbox, I'll get off. But yes, back in that day. So it was good. It was good fun. So it's great. I mean, you mentioned earlier as well, when you were talking about your inspirations, and I'll bring this right back to you again. Sorry. Indiana Jones, and I mean, classic. I grew up on Indiana Jones and stuff. Amazing films.
Yeah.
And so I was going to say, it did actually spring on because you said, why couldn't Indiana Jones be a woman? And now you've got Lara Croft, who is a female indie, and who I know you have an affinity with.
Yes, I do. I love. Yeah. I mean, when Angelina Jolie got cast as Lara Croft, I was like, yes. Yeah. I mean, she's definitely my idol. I love strong characters like that. And I just wish there was more. I wish that there is some more characters, strong female characters coming along. But I also wish they would do strong female characters that didn't always have to involve, them fighting and then them surrounded by men and they're outnumbered by men. Like,
Yeah.
have a film where there's more strong females. Yes, you can have the kick-ass, badass ones as well. They're just strong, but because they're female.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be. I mean, like this recent Lara Croft, I loved it, loved the film, but again, it was a woman surrounded by a bunch of blokes.
Yes, it was.
And it was kind of like there not been more female cast members in there.
Well, yeah, she was pretty much the only one, wasn't? Apart from the what's her name, the girl, the woman in the office, yeah.
Yeah.
Her mum. Whatever it was.
Just would have been. I just think it would be nice. I mean, there are some more of these films coming out where there are good lead females, but it always seems to. I mean, like Captain Marvel. From what I've seen from the trailers, it is pretty much her, and then it's all guys.
Yeah. Well, it's even like Black Widow as well. She's the female character in the Avengers, but yeah, she's surrounded by.
Yes,
blokes.
vastly outnumbered.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that is. The recent Ghostbusters. See, that would wound me up about the Ghostbusters film, because that was a good one with most of the female cast in. I actually really enjoyed it, and people can attack me for what they want. I thought it was funny. To be fair, I looked past all the hatred.
Yeah, I didn't understand really what the problem was with that. I just think whenever you touch something that's already been done, people are always going to have their gripes
Yeah.
about it, especially if you do such a change as changing them from male to female.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be some kind of uproar. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm sure they'll be up for, when they cast me as the new Indiana Jones.
Well, just trying to think of what we. Yeah, we could have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Leila Kotori's Indiana Jones. You could get away with it, I guess. Yeah.
I think I'll wear the hat well.
Yeah. And the leather jacket.
Although I might have to beat off Chris Pratt to this.
Sorry?
Because there's
Oh,
been
yeah,
loads of
yeah.
rumours that it's going to be cast.
He's kind of got the look, though, hasn't he, as well, to be fair to him?
He has, yeah. I will give him that. I still think it should be me. So if the producers are watching this,
Yeah.
I have a degree in geography and archaeology, so I know my stuff.
There you go. There you have it. Well, you could be a female. You could be a female. It could be the next Indiana Jones meets his match because his arch nemesis could beat a female Indiana Jones who's beaten him to everything.
Yeah.
No, that still doesn't make sense. You should just be, could just be Indiana Jones rather than that because that's still not making you that character.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, there are a lot of stronger women roles coming out there, and it's still far from where it should be for equality wise, especially and things like that you see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of people that I know who are writing, and they always make they always write a strong female into their films, which is great. It just seems it is stuck. The ripple effect is happening. It's just taking some time to really for us women to really be on an even keel with men in the film business, film, music, etc.
Yeah.
But we will get there. We will get there. I have faith.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it will. I mean, just say Angelina Jolie's done loads. Salt as well was another good one. I loved that. It was a great one as well. There are lots of coming out, but it has got a long way to go. It's the same like with Black Panther and African American actors and stuff taking the lead roles because there's been a shortage of that until recently, where it's actually coming out more. It's like I see it. I've said this before in one of my interviews. I see it as it doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white. I was going to say yellow, but I don't mean that in a racist way. You know what I mean? Blue, green. I'll make it equal. It doesn't matter what you are. If you can act and you'll be good in a role, then that's what it should be.
Absolutely. There shouldn't be, yeah. But it just seems to be, and it's not even just in the film business. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
In virtually any industry that you go to. But at least things are starting to change, especially over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just slower progress, and I think quite a few of us would like.
Yeah.
They always say patience is a virtue. It's just
yeah. Well, you don't want to be the age of Angela Lansbury when it happens, do you? Bless her cotton socks. I loved it when she was in Mary Poppins 2 and popped up at the end.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, haven't you? So I've just ruined that for you, haven't I?
Damn it.
I was going to say the only role that I exempt from that is James Bond. Mic drop. Open up the comments.
Yeah. I can see. Yeah. I'm not going. We'll just start a massive backlash.
It will, but I mean, look at the backlash that Doctor Who had for forgotten her name now.
I don't watch it, so.
Female Doctor. I think it's great in the role. It doesn't, again. That's what you're talking about. That whole situation. I was watching online, and there's so many trolls out there, and they're attacking this, that, and the other. My comment back, and I think it was to Rekha Sharma because she was in Star Trek Discovery, and she had the same battles. They were questioning a female captain, And
Yeah.
and obviously you had Captain Janeway before anyway, but I was like, oh, she was Chinese. That's it. Why can you have a Chinese female captain? Rah, rah, rah. I said, right, you were discussing what sex the captain of a ship is, where your first officer is from a different planet. I said, every man on that bridge have got faces because they're complete aliens. I said, you've probably got a guy who looks like a squid. I said, but no, you're questioning the fact that there can be one female captain in a universe. I said, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there. Right, again, soapbox off now. See, I told you I can babble all night about this kind of topics and stuff. So,
Yeah.
so moving back to a question.
Okay.
I'll focus myself on which actor or actress, living or dead, or even director, would you like to meet? Hang on, I'll say that again. Which actor, actress, or director, living or dead, would you like to meet and spend time with, and what would you do with them for the day, within reason and a clean?
Yeah. Okay. Oh Christ. It would have to be Angelina Jolie. You know, like she's been my idol for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have to meet her. And I think I would literally, I think I could just take her out for a drink and just sit there, have a drink, and then just listen to her. I probably wouldn't even be able to speak for like most of the time. Just starstruck.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, the films that she's been in are just, some of my favourite films. I mean, what can you say to someone like that's a bigger star as she is?
I know.
I always like to think that, you know, I'd be like really like calm and collected and just like, what's up? I don't think I would be with her. So I'm trying to shake her hand like.
People say that to me all the time for doing this. They said, how can you sit and talk to these people? I said, because they're great. I said, they're just human. They're like me. And, you know, and it was but then I met Carl Urban in December. I don't know why I'm doing a little Dr. Evil little finger there either. Throw me a freaking bone, people. And I met Carl Urban in December. And I was just like, it's Carl Urban, it's Dread, obviously, and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God, it's Carl Urban. I met him and had my card ready and everything. I was like, Carl, blah, blah, blah. I gave him a card and he was like, yeah, dude, fist bump, yeah, photo, look away. Wasn't interested, and that was it. I was like, that was it? I was like, really? It's like everyone else I can sit and talk to for hours and hours and hours, but for someone like, because I think his stature's so, it's like you say, not to Angelina Jolie's level, but it's that sort of level. You know, all these Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that, and it was just like, blah, blah, blah. Just flopped. Sounds like Mr. Bean, you know. Mr.
I'll tell you what, I would like to meet Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Love to meet Will Smith.
He's someone who, he's definitely someone who I'd love to meet as well. He never ages either.
No, he doesn't.
Bastard.
He literally doesn't. You literally take like a photo of him from like when he was doing the Fresh Prince to like now. And it's like, okay, you can see like you've matured, but other than that, like, where's the wrinkles, man?
Exactly. Even Johnny Depp's starting to get a few wrinkles now, you know. I mean, he was another one who never aged, but he's starting to look it. But no, not Will Smith. Will Smith is just a waxwork model on letting.
It's amazing how you can look at like some of the actors and they just like don't age. It was like recently the 10-year challenge.
Oh yeah.
Where everyone's putting up their photos. I was watching some of my friends put up theirs. I was like, you have not aged. I was like, literally, like an ageless face.
Yeah.
I was like, what is your secret?
Yeah, it's the same. I'm looking at these people. Yeah, same thing. I'm looking at these people's pictures, and it is the same thing. It's like you haven't aged at all. There's me. There's that little old man from Up. You know. That's how it's. Yeah, it just makes you wonder. But then again, I guess when you've got millions and millions in the bank like that, you can sometimes. I'm not saying this. This is allegedly. This is not aimed at Will Smith. I'm just saying some might be able to buy.
You guys are naturally.
Yeah. But I'm sure when you've got that kind of money, you can probably buy your way into looking young.
So there's some kind of like supreme like facial thing they've got to be using.
Yeah, it must be because he is. But he's a fantastic actor as well, and he's really versatile too. You know, especially when you know him from Fresh Prince and stuff. And
Yeah.
And I mean, I had the chance to meet Carlton last year at Comic Con as well, but I couldn't go
Oh,
to that one, so I missed it. But Jeffrey was there from the Butler.
oh yeah.
He was there, and he's not changed either. He's still got the little grey beard. He
Oh,
sat next to Danny Glover, who looked really old. To be fair, he really did look really haggard.
yeah, but he's only just starting to look like that
Yeah,
recently.
he's been pretty good up till now, and it's just sort of just. I guess it's just
Is
a
how
point. It
old is
just
he now?
hits you. I think he's in 70s, 60s, late 60s, early 70s now. I'll have to look that up after. He might be older actually. Just bear with me a second. I'm being rude. I've got my phone here. The almighty, the almighty IMDb.
I'm going to put down I'm going to go with 76.
76. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I said about late 60s, didn't I? I've not got
Yeah.
it on yet. It's got. What do you mean updates? No, I don't want to update it. 40. Now I've got to do my maths. 72, 73 this year.
Oh, that's close. I was only 3 years out.
Yeah, you're very close. Closer than I was. I couldn't believe Dick Van Dyke and Angela Lansbury, to be honest. Both of them 93 years old, and they were still looking fresh. Well, ish in in Mary Poppins too.
They could stand up.
Yeah, they could stand up. They could tap dance. Well, no one could. That's not ruining it for you. You've heard that. You have to see it. It's a great film. Great film. And Emily Blunt was superb as Mary, to be fair. I thought she was absolutely spot on. What kind of advice would you give for acting, for people coming out into acting, or even producing, because you've done that too?
Yeah, I mean, producing, I'm still learning about that. I've produced a couple of things. I'm going to be producing a feature film as well.
Yeah.
Acting wise, the best advice is to go out there and just do it. And even if you're starting out and say you haven't been to drama school yet, then go join your local Amdram group. Get experience of just being on stage, being in front of people, taking direction as well, because that's very important. And I think, it's great if you can afford to go to drama school. They're insanely expensive.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a case of, getting out there and doing what you can. And, there's this massive debate about, should you take any unpaid work? But, like I was, yes, I managed to get to drama school. I did a year's course. But, predominantly where most of what I learned was from doing these theatre pieces, profit share, doing short films that were, say, just expenses, etc., and building up my experience from that. And so I'd say to people, like, don't be put off at the beginning by people saying you should never take unpaid work.
Yeah.
So you've got to start learning somewhere. And if you can't get to drama school, where else are you really going to
learn? Yeah.
It'd be lovely if everybody could get paid from the very beginning, which I think, should happen.
Yeah.
Make me Prime Minister, mate.
You don't want that job.
Probably not. But yeah, it is, the basic thing is just to go out there and get some experience and join your local groups and create your own stuff as well. You don't have to put it out there for people to view it necessarily, but you have a phone, you can have a friend record you, so you're constantly practicing, and then you watch it back, take notes as to what you've done, get someone else to watch it, that kind of thing. So you're just always staying within the creative bubble and not just sitting back and going, oh, nothing's happening.
That's the thing, that you got to work for it, and I think it's everyone I speak to, that's the same ethos. It's the same in IT, which I've been doing 20 years, which I wish I was doing acting for 20 years, but I mean, IT. But it's, even with this show, you've got to, in order to get guests like yourself, for me, for my side of things, I've got to really work at it to entice guests on and want and do something or make something that would want you to come on, because I put that post out and obviously people, it's getting around now, so obviously you guys are all like, oh, okay, that sounds good, because because you've seen other people have been on it and I'm hoping
Yeah.
that's the case. There's another thing. I'm probably you're going to sit there now. But you've got to really, really work at it, and I think that's a lot of people don't understand that. They think they'll be able to earn loads and loads from the very outset. It's something I'm trying to get. The advice is great because it's something I'm looking to get into, and I did one 2 years ago, maybe 3 now, and I'm still waiting for it to come out now. It's won about 25 awards apparently, and rave reviews for the final scene, which I'm in. I don't do much apart from lie down handcuffed, but it's a key critical scene, and I'm in it, and people have been saying that was a really, really good scene apparently, and I was like, yes, that was one of mine. Yeah. It was, yeah. And I was in about 2 scenes where I actually talked throughout the scenes as well. So I had lines, but it was one where I got expenses. It was local to me. I was out of work at the time, and I was like, the experience I took from that was great. And it's like, like what you said, whether you get paid or not. For me, it was my first ever on-screen. Well, I did an extras thing, playing one of Hitler's soldiers with Michael Sheard about 13 years ago. But so it was the first on-screen I'd had. And I was there for 11 hours of the day for 25 minutes of filming throughout the whole day. It was my well, maybe a bit longer at the end, but that was it. Yeah. And it was a long, long day. And people were like, "Are you sure you're all right?" Because it's a really long day. And I was just sat there wide-eyed, going, "I'm great. Look, I was just seeing how the camera. He's moving. He's one camera. He's taking all the different angles. Having to reshoot because of this. I was watching the sound guy going. I'm watching the people running back and forth to get. I was just like absolutely fascinated with every aspect of what was going on."
Yeah, I mean, the first bit of filming we obviously did, because I did a screen acting course. We did filming at the school, but of course, it's like one guy camera, sound, etc. So the first thing that I ever got outside of school, actually no, I think I was still in school, was to be an extra in the last Harry Potter film.
Oh, cool.
And at first I was just like, I was 25 then, and I was never gonna get picked to do this, just too old. So casting for the Hogwarts students, I got picked. I went, I'm going to have to be the oldest Hogwarts student ever, and turned out I was. But the sad thing is I still had to be chaperoned everywhere because there were so many kids there.
So you're just like stalking them.
25. I'm pretty certain I could find my way to the toilet by myself. But I mean, that for me that was awesome, because I was just like, right, I'm going to do this one extra bit. But it was great to go in and see just the size of the cameras. And I was seeing proper size of the cameras. I was like, why is there 10 people to one camera? But yes, I mean that would be another thing I'd say, is to anybody that wants to get into film and TV and you're just starting out, if you can get something extra role, just so you can see what a big set is actually like and how many people are actually on a set. Yeah. Just experience. You don't have to put it on your CV or anything like that. It's just for your own personal experience of being on a set and seeing what it's like, and just how many people actually, how much crew go into these big films.
Yeah, definitely. I think I remember speaking to an indie director once, and he said his entire budget of his film was less than the food budget for Star Wars for the lunchtime menu, because of the amount of crew and cast and crew that were there.
Yeah, I mean, it can be absolutely insane. I imagine, especially on these big ones. I dread to think what it's like on a Marvel set.
Oh, imagine.
The amount of money, and imagine the food's quite nice as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Or even Game of Thrones, because they just seem to have throngs of people, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, the amount of actors that have been on Game of Thrones.
I know, yeah.
Out.
It is, I know. And it doesn't matter even if you just say, I was third row back and I was that barbarian there. Yeah. You were on Game of Thrones, and that's doesn't matter. I don't. Exactly. Yeah. That's cool. I've had a couple of Game of Thrones people on my show actually. Jerome Flynn was one. Yeah. He was probably the best
Oh,
one.
really?
He was lovely. But they're talking about the size of it. Yeah, exactly. He just say the immense size when people are on set of everybody there and bustling around backs. He goes, what you see on the front of the screen is about the same amount back, behind the cameras as well, just bustling everywhere. So I just love to get that experience. Mine was an indie film, so I had the one camera, one sound operator, one director, and one producer, and obviously about 4 actors. That was it. But
Yeah.
that was still enough for me to get a huge, get a huge experience.
It is. I think, yeah. Like I said, I think you just got to try and gain as much experience as you can, and if the opportunities aren't coming on your doorstep, then you've just got to create them yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it's sitting down and writing. I know people often go like, "Oh yeah, but I don't write." It's like, well, have you ever tried to write?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know until you start actually trying.
Yeah.
And there's plenty. If you need to learn like how to write a script, there's so many forums where you can actually download TV script, film scripts
Yeah.
off the internet to be able to look at how the format is.
Yeah.
So in my mind, really, there is no excuse for people saying there are no opportunities, because it's not the lack of opportunity, it's the lack of resourcefulness of yourself that will stop you from finding those opportunities.
Well said. It's true. You've got to look inside yourself. You can't, like you say, you can't expect it to come to you. You've got to be able to work out that creativity and work out what you're doing. And something I'm still trying to learn with what I'm doing with this show is to figure out, and get it out there, to try and work harder to make it more popular, because it's a long going thing. It's an ongoing developing. Evolving is the word I was looking for. I don't know why I'm just doing all these hand movements now. It's like, start that way. I noticed it the other day. I've just started doing it. I'm doing this 3.5 years and it's been fine. My hands have been down here, but the last couple of interviews I've been ooh, sitting there. I can see my little picture in the top corner, and it's just like that. It's like, stop it. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You've got to create for yourself, because when I first started out, all I wanted to do was just acting.
Mm-hmm.
Writing and producing never once came into my head. And then progressively as I've gone along, I've been like, okay, you need to. I think nowadays you need to not necessarily have your fingers in so many pies, but you need to have a varied skill set.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to be able to. There's very few people that can just work as just an actor.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us have to do acting, then we do some writing, then we do some producing, and some of us do other things on the side as well.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to expand. You have to grow and expand and learn different things. And even though it seems like a mountain and an uphill struggle, in like a year's time you'll be looking back and going like, oh yeah, that's easy. Well, not easy, but what's I worrying about?
Exactly. Yeah. It goes. Yeah. What was I worrying about? Look at it.
Yeah.
It is. You're definitely right, and it's. I thought of something there when you were talking, and I've just lost it now. I forgot what I was going to say.
I hate when that happens.
I was thinking I had it perfectly, then I've completely forgotten.
Yeah.
And it would have been fit perfect. No, well, never mind. But you are right. You do have to push on and develop. Oh, that's it. I was going to say, I've actually, because I've got to a stage now where I've got a theme in my head where I want to write something. And I'm not going to say what it is, because people listen. I don't want anyone, not that anyone would who might listen to this, but you're not going to steal my ideas. It's been done. Yeah, I'll tell you when we're off air. But it has been done. To be fair, I've done it with my show. I've had a couple of. I'm not going to even mention that. I'll just mention I've mentioned an idea that I've had about my show and progression to my show to a couple of people, and I heard nothing from them when I was trying to talk to them again, because they said they'll be there, to listen to advice, give me some advice and stuff. Heard nothing. Yeah. A few months later, someone who was a very good friend of theirs started up exactly the same kind of thing that I had been thinking of. And it was pretty. I showed it to a friend and I said, "Is it me, or does that look really?" And they said, "No, that's pretty much verbatim what you said you wanted to do." And I was like, "Right, okay."
Yeah. So now you don't say nothing.
I don't say nothing. Unless it's off air, and then you can steal it all you like, and I can't prove it. Cool. So yeah, moving on. I mean, So talking about, I mean, you have got an impressive resume going already on IMDb as well. Of the credits that you're welcome, and I know some of them because one of them is one of my favourite short films. To be fair, and it's from a director who seems to be trying to load his questions every single time. It's the amazing. I mean, I've got to say he's the amazing Patrick Ryder because I've met him a few times. I was extremely honoured to have been invited to do the intro and the Q&A at his screenings last year for The Code.
They're just
amazing, and they're amazing films, amazing people. And because when I was researching to get Patrick on, I watched Human. And I'd completely forgotten you were in Human until I was reading up on you, and I was like, "Oh God, yeah." That film, it really, really affected me. I was, to be fair, the whole concept of it, I was really welled up because I could the depth of the humanity and the human of that film between your character and the and the robot, and obviously not just your character, the whole thing of how it develops and the relationships and it's just spot on. How did you feel filming? That was all filmed in my hometown originally of Hemel.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's an awesome film. It's a film that just keeps on giving. I mean, every time I go onto YouTube, I'm like, oh my God, like the views are going up and up and up. It's doing so well on like Amazon Prime as well. But yeah, it was such a blast to work with Patrick. I'd worked with him previously on a film that he did called Viewpoint.
Yeah,
he brought me in for Human. But yeah, it was just so amazing, and to have like the suit and everything like that you made, it was just brilliant. If a little bit cold, we filmed it during the winter. We were all just like our toes were just like ice.
I can imagine on that location it looked quite spacious.
It was, and it had a river flowing underneath the old mill.
Oh right, okay.
So it just made it. I think it just made it feel like just that much colder. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved working with Patrick, and Patrick's an absolute genius. And I just think, and I've seen like all of his shorts that he's done, and I'm so excited for when he will do a feature film because I can tell. I said to him, we took my partner and I took his boys to the cinema, and of course they've seen Human, they've seen the posters, and they've seen like Patrick's trailers, and they were like, "When's Patrick's poster going to be up in the cinema?" I was like, "Soon, it will be." They must have been like, "What? When your posters go up in the cinema?"
Soon, yeah, exactly. No, they should. I think I've just spoke to once before. Is like what a big great idea is all these shorts that go out there. Cinemas should put them out like they did in I was going to say old days. It was the old days because before I was born, where they actually had like a film short before the actual feature film, and it'd be a great way to promote independent film in that way, and just get it out there on all the cinema screens because they're so worthy to be seen on a wide audience and on these big screens like that.
They have nights where they show the like theatre Royal Live performances, etc. So I don't see why like once a week they couldn't do like an evening in one of their screens where they're showing short films.
Exactly.
Because it would just massively help the independent market get their stuff out there. Because unless it goes on YouTube or now thankfully Amazon Prime. A lot of people don't get to see the finished product. It's festival circuits, and then other people don't really get to see it. And I think it's a real shame for not only the people that have made it, but also depriving the audiences of being able to see these wonderful films that are being made.
Exactly.
Especially when you go on. Sometimes when you go on, have you ever done it where you go on Netflix and you look at some of the films that are on there? You're like, how?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know how many more times we've just sat there if we've gone through Netflix like that and that one, that looks quite good. What about that one? 10 minutes into it, this film is... No. It's like, this is absolutely...
If I start a film I have to watch the rest of it because I
Yeah,
just
I'm
need.
like that. You need closure. You need to find out what does actually happen. But yeah, there are so many, and I mean, like you say, it's not just Netflix. So when you look out there, and I just look at it, and I just think there are so many people who I know who've done some really good stuff, and it's like that should be on there. Why isn't that on there? Why do we have to watch? Why is that popping up as
Sharknado 6 is on there, so it's all okay. Because one tornado was not enough.
No, yeah, you have to have 6, because how
one, isn't it a robot shark as well?
I don't know. You know more than me. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, I have seen it. Yeah. I think I've skipped 3, 4, and 5,
Right.
and like 1, 2 to 6, and by 6 they're like robotic. Oh, it amazes me. It amazes me.
It does. I mean, how many films? Yeah, obviously 6. I was going to say, how many films can you make of sharks being swept up into a tornado? It just.
Yeah.
But even they take the mick out of themselves, though, don't they? To be fair, they know they're absolutely dire
They
films.
probably sat down. They were probably like having a few beers on a night out, and just like, oh, what are we? Sharks in a tornado.
Yeah.
Now, like years later, they're like, and we've made number 6. Wow.
Yeah. I wouldn't like to go in that room and see what they're smoking. Yeah, you could just imagine. It's crazy. There's some obviously very good stuff out there, but I think it's still a great platform. Like you say, you've got Amazon Prime, you've got Netflix, and all these Vimeo. Sorry, not Vimeo. And there's and quite a few others which are just coming out there now. There was another one. Hulu was the other one, and they're great places to promote independent film and get people to see them. I'll sing Amazon Prime now as well because I'm on there. Yes. One episode is up there now at the moment, and yeah. So more to come. So, but it is a great outlet. I mean, God, they'll take someone like me for crying out loud. So there's hope for everyone else who's more talented. Is what I'll say. But it's a great venue, isn't it?
It is. It's really good that there's these platforms now where you can get on there, and because you put it back like a few years ago, and really the independent film market had unless you got distribution, you really just didn't get seen.
Yeah.
And and have you noticed that they've extended the amount of minutes you can put a YouTube video up? I remember back in it was like really restricted, and it had to be like 12 minutes or something.
Yeah, now you can just look if you get verified.
Yeah.
It's great for me because mine are now long. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off then, Leila.
But yeah, it's making it a lot easier, which is great for all of us in the independent film market. So yeah, may those times carry on coming, please.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was going to say, Human's not the only one, and there's another one which has been really successful in awards as well as Blame. Yeah, I've not seen that one yet. What was that one about?
So
if I can't guess from the name.
Blame started off as a short. So it's basically the mask that people put on, the facade that people put on, but underneath literally anybody can be broken, and at the bottom of the hole, just rock bottom.
Right.
And so yeah, the premise is basically about these 7 individuals from completely different walks of life that come together because they've got this one thing in common, that is their addiction to drugs.
Yeah.
And so it's wanting to show that the drug addicted person that you might see, say, on the street, and people often do. You hear people do it when you're walking along. It's like, oh, he's on the street because he's taking drugs and had it coming, or blah blah blah. You have no idea what their story is. Like, no idea why they've ended up where they are.
Yeah.
And that was the point of this film, is taking, there's one character in the film that is the typical homeless person, but has this massive story behind him,
right,
as to why he's there. And then all the others are like, you have like a lawyer, And then you have a Stepford wife. And it's just showing that, addiction can be anywhere.
Yeah.
And that there'll be clear signs from, people when they get into that situation, and they get so low and get so depressed they turn to addictive substances like this. They will show signs way before, and people often miss it because they look for the obvious things. But some people are very good at hiding it. So it's just the whole film is just trying to shine a light on things that are going on in the world that we all shouldn't really ignore, and that there is help out there for anyone that wants it.
Excellent. That's a really good premise, and I think it's a very valid one and a poignant one, because there are so many judgmental people out there, and it's and you're right. You've got no idea what someone else's life is. I've just had something on Facebook recently, as much as yesterday.
Oh wow!
About my estate that I live on, the home of them, and someone picked out. It's actually, I told him, and about 50 odd comments. But basically, this guy turned around and goes, "No, I'm going to get some backs up here." He goes, "But I think the west side of this estate is a right shithole." He goes, "It's all dirt, it's blah blah blah. All these houses look estate. There's one house in particular. We all know which house that is." And he was really ranting on, and then all these people attacking this one particular house. And first of all, I turned around and said, "That is one highly rude, up your own arse statement to make." I said, "I happen to live on this West End, and my house, I think, looks quite nice." And then loads of people joined in, but most of the comments were like, "How dare you single out someone's house and tell them how, you've got no idea who they are, you've got no idea what they're going through, why their house might not be, why don't you offer to help? If you see a house that's really fallen down and someone looks like they're struggling, why can't you offer your help to do something, like maybe clean it up or something, rather than just sit on Facebook and go, because I think social media, sorry, that's my impression of them, is like, why social media is just full of keyboard warriors who are so easy to be judgmental. I mean, I hate it. I'm on it because of my show. And I'm addicted, the addiction thing, because I'm addicted to reading all these comments. But I can't help it. I dive in, I'll see something come there, and it's like, oh, let's read the comments. No, don't read the comments.
Yeah. as soon as I see something that I think is probably going to have like comments on there, I just don't even bother looking at it. I just go, no, scrolling on. Scrolling on. There's so many keyboard warriors. You meet that person to their face and they're like, "Oh, hi, how are you? How are you doing?"
Yeah, nicest person
ever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the very sad thing, is that, these keyboard warriors, they have nothing better to do with their time other than try to bring down everybody else around them.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really sad that, if you really didn't like someone and then you met them face to face, if I don't like someone, I'm never going to be rude to that person. But I also wouldn't be so two-faced as to be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
I'd be on the other side of the room just keeping like clear space.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's people who've done that in my past. I used to know in school who were right idiots to me and bullying stuff, and one of them, his ex lives right opposite, and I see him now. I mean, it's long in the past, it's like 25, 30 years ago, but I've never liked him from since then. And this guy, he sees me now, he's like, "Hi mate, how you doing?" I'm like, "Really?" It's like, honestly? It's like, I'm not going to pretend to be nice to you now.
Yeah.
It's that kind of hatred. I mean, you're right. If you do meet a keyboard warrior, they're probably to the face, they'll be the nicest people going. I admit I ranted a bit on it, but I think someone gave up with a perfect plot line for Bird Box about why the blindfold is, and it was she was blindfolded and keeping her kids from social media and the effect of social media. And have you seen Bird Box?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And the guy, the guy who came into the house and was the one who was telling them all that there's a mental asylum had broken out and they weren't affected. Yeah. He was Mark Zuckerberg. And he was like, he was Facebook basically saying, "Come, be tempted, it's perfect, it's fine, come and have a look and you'll be alright." And everyone gets addicted when they look and they all start going off the comments and start hating each other. So she's keeping so the only way to stay safe is to stop yourself from looking at any social media and just, go and live for free life. And I was like, wow, that's deep. That's probably more.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
The virus was social media, Cool. Is there anything? What else?
It's everywhere.
It is. So, I mean, these are obviously films you've done in the past. What have we got coming out? You've got a lot coming out, I notice, and you've got a lot that you've done. So can you talk to me about some of the stuff that you've got coming up?
I can. So I'm just been brought on as co-producer for a feature film. It's a horror-y, horror comedy.
Okay.
I put it together. There we go.
There you go.
It's a new genre.
Wow.
Horror.
I'm going to hashtag that later.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's going to be so the comedy aspect is going to be a bit like Carry On Monty Python, that style of comedy.
My style of comedy.
It's also going to have a Cornish folklore theme to it as well.
Okay.
It's called Magic is Murder. It's just in the very pre-production stages.
Yeah.
So yeah, really excited to be brought on board for that.
Sounds good.
More, can't really say too much about it at the moment, but more information will come soon.
Excellent. You'll have to come back on when you can, because I'd love to hear more about that one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It sounds. I was raised on Monty Python, Blackadder, and Carry On films, so that's where my very sarcastic and humour comes from. It's
great. It's great to have the mix of that with the horror as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And keeping some of the folklore, so you've got like pixies and witches and that kind of thing in it as well. So yeah, that'd be really good. And one of the locations that we've got is going to be awesome as well. So
brilliant.
Yeah, really looking forward to this.
If you need a big fat ugly troll, I'll come down. No makeup
into
needed.
My horror-y.
Yeah, into your horror. Yeah, into your horror. No makeup needed. But yeah, that does sound great, and we obviously keep an eye on that one. And I mean, for you producing or getting put into that for a feature film as well, it's compared to the shorts as well, it's a big step. So it's a big exciting step, and definitely one to learn from as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's going to be a mammoth task, but it will definitely be a massive learning curve for me as well.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've produced some shorts. I've been involved in helping out with producing as well. But this will be the first thing where I'm just like, oh, on my own.
Yeah, help! I'm sure you'll smash it in a good way. That's maybe yeah. Cool. Well, anything else that you've got coming up that you want to push out there? I know there's a few.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Tribal Get Out Alive. Again, can't say too much about everything. But yeah, I'm going to be in Tribal Get Out Alive, which is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to working on that, which will be soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got a stellar cast. So yeah, I literally can't wait. So check out the Facebook page, Tribal Get Out Alive, and keep on following on there, because that's where all the updates will be coming.
Fantastic. I shall link that as well.
Thank you.
Excellent. That's great. I mean, there are a couple of questions I'm going to go into. There's two now, because we've asked the narcissistic Patrick Ryder's question. I'm joking, Patrick.
You are my favourite director.
And that was a joke, Patrick. You're not narcissistic. She's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Well,
Laura Saxon has just asked, what's your favourite part of being an actor?
Oh, my favourite part of being an actor? I'd probably have to say it's that moment once you get on set. I don't know what it's like for other actors, but mine is that it's almost like sad to say, it's like a magical feeling when you get on set. And no, I'm not high when I get on set.
Yeah. Warned you about those mushrooms, Leila.
Yeah. The horny, the shrooms.
Pixies everywhere.
Yeah. No, it is. It's just that I don't know. The best way to describe it is like this magic feeling when you're on set. The moment that the director says action, and you just go. I'm not a method actor. I very much act within the moment, and work quite a lot off of my impulses and my interpretation of and listening to, reacting to the other actor. But yeah, it is that, I would say it's that moment of heading onto set, getting on set, being in costume, and it's that moment then when you're just like, now the magic is going to happen.
See, that's why you were in Harry Potter. I bet you think I was going to say you still got your little wand.
No, we weren't allowed to take them. Oh no.
No.
We got locked down for an hour and a half, I think, because someone had no one had taken the wands. We all had to put our wands back, and they were all catalogues.
Yeah.
Someone had basically forgotten to put their wand back, and they left it on the side somewhere.
Oh no.
And yeah, they were like, we all got like locked down. We weren't allowed to leave until this one wand was back.
That's crazy. That's all. It's such a tight ship. I remember going to the Harry Potter studio tour a few years back, and they were doing some filming, and I was asking what it was, and they were like, "No, can't tell you." Then I worked out it was actually the first Fantastic Beasts film. Because when I looked at that, I was thinking, because I remember saying that looks like a New York street, and it was.
It was New York street.
Yeah. Now that I know that, they were all there, I was like, oh, I should have just stalked them all. Because that's what I'll do. I was going to say, no, don't. That sounds awful. Wipe that bit out.
Edit.
Yeah, you're right. No, about walking on set, and I think it's when you're working with other people as well. A lot of time, a lot of people say it's when you're working with people who switched on. I mean, I'm going to say a story because it's a name drop. There's one actress, and I think it was talking about someone, and it was working on a film with Samuel Jackson, and I love this story so much because it was just a favourite moment from this lady, Erin Burns, and she said the scene was her brother in the film had died, been killed, and they were walking off, and she just decided in the spur of the moment her character wouldn't just walk off like that. She'd want to go and see him one more time, and she just turned. Not, obviously not scripted, ad lib. She just turned to go back, and she just felt this big arm just hold her like that, and it was Samuel Jackson saying, "No, because you don't want to do that. Remember him how he was." Turned around and walked off, and it was just like, completely ad lib, and he was like that. Immediately knew what the game plan was. Yeah. So I mean, it's just. That had nothing to do with your story whatsoever. I just wanted to say.
It does, because again, that's like part of the magic. The moment it actually happens, you just don't know what's going to happen. You really don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
I think that's why I love film and TV so much over theatre. Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy doing theatre, but that process of constant rehearsing the things out. I like the fact that you get either no rehearsal or very little rehearsal for film and TV. And yes, okay, so you can cut and action and go again, etc. But it's still like, those first few takes, literal magic happens. Sometimes it's like one take wonder. What? Nailed it. No, I want to go again just because I want to try again. So no, you nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to say, I did that with the one that I was in. I was learning, and we did it about 15 times because I had different camera angles. But I went in, and it was just like my bit. And they were like, "We don't need that bit again now." Oh, why? They said, "Because you did it first. It was great." And I was like, "What?" So that's, and I'll blow my own trumpet here for once. I came off, and there were some other actresses on there, and they could not believe it was my first time ever on screen. On a film, because they said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I've never done that before. That's the literal first time I've been where the camera's filmed." And they were like, "Wouldn't have guessed that at all." They said it was really good. It was a one-take wonder, but I was like, "I want to do that again." And they were like, "We don't need to do it again. We need the other angle. We don't need you in that angle. Just stand there and do that in the background, so we can just see your hand coming in."
but I want to do it again.
Exactly, yeah. I had my lines. I didn't.
I enjoyed that. Why can't I do it?
Exactly, yes. I don't care about your budget. Get me more. Get me on more.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to move on to my signature question now for you, Leila, because it's coming to the end, because I've kept you here rather long. And you're probably wilting and probably thinking, oh, God's sake, hurry up. Right, this signature question, everyone gets sick of me explaining, but I will explain it. I had 2 years ago a chap called Mike, forgotten his name, Mike Quinn. Sorry, Mike. He's worked with Jim Henson for 30 odd years. He was in. Remember, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you must like Star Wars.
I do like Star Wars. Yeah,
do you know
not the recent ones though, just the old ones.
The originals, yeah. I actually love Rogue One. To be fair, that's probably my favourite of the new ones. But Nien Nunb, the one he's the Nien Nunb. He wears a red suit. He was in Return of the Jedi, flying the Millennium Falcon at the end with Lando.
Oh yes,
the monkey-faced guy. Yeah, that was him. He's done it. Okay. He's actually the only character to have lasted from Return of the Jedi to the current films. He's still in them. But yeah, he's basically worked like that in Jim Henson 30 years and a puppeteer. He's had his hand up Kermit and Miss Piggy. Innuendo. So the question sent to him was, what kind of Muppet character would you have if you could have one created after yourself, and why? And I thought that was such an amazing question. I'm going to ask everybody. And then you get to hear my impressions.
Muppet character of me. Ooh.
It doesn't have to be, I think it can be an existing one. You can have a mix of them. You could have a new one.
I don't know. Go make up a new one. Gotta make up a new one. It would probably... Oh God, it's a really difficult question. It is really difficult. I can't think. Afterwards, I'm going to come up with the best Muppet ever. And I'm like, damn it.
Well, we'll just have to come back and record 5 minutes again where you can just come up with your... I'll edit that in. And no one will ever know.
I think my Muppet would probably be something like... probably be a dog, because I'm always posting about my dogs, actually, all the time. I'm always posting about my dogs. So probably be like little dog face, maybe with some cool little glasses. Got to have the hair in there as well, with a little Indiana Jones hat on, and a whip. There we go. Yes. A dog, glasses, whip, hat, bit of hair, a little bit of lipstick as well.
Fair enough. That sounds pretty good. It's nice and original one as well. A lot of people just go mix of Kermit and Miss Piggy. I can't do it now. Piggy, we need it on set, Piggy.
I can't do impressions, but no. I just do impressions.
My Miss Piggy's just dead loud and sounds like Yoda normal. She's like, Kermit. I can't do. You got Waka Waka Waka. Fozzie Bear. Who else is there? I've got a repertoire, you see. The best I've got a show. There will be. You've got to keep an eye out as well, because there will be a show called the Billy Bob Show coming out from my side of things as well. And I'm trying to find a little character to go with him.
Oh, cool.
Which I'll tell you more about when I stop recording, because I'll edit that bit out now.
No one's stealing it.
Yeah. So, Leila, absolute pleasure talking to you. Is there anything you'd like to say to people who are watching or listening before I stop recording?
Yes, I would love to say keep a lookout for all the stuff I'm involved with, and just never ever give up on your dreams, because you just got to keep on working. Not everything's going to happen instantly, but you've got to have faith in you. As Will Smith says, you've got to believe in number one.